Hello everyone, Scott Magoon here coming to you from my studio. This week, it's Big Mean Mike by Michelle Knudsen and me. Best-selling author Michelle will join us from New York City to read our book and tell us her book's connection to a movie star legend. I'll show you how to draw a cool fuzzy bunny, plus we'll take a look at your artwork. It's all ahead. Welcome to the studio. It's story time. This week's book is Big Mean Mike by Michelle Knudsen and me. Big Mean Mike is the biggest, toughest dog in the whole neighborhood. Everyone knows how big and tough he is. Then one day, a tiny fuzzy bunny shows up in his car. Mike takes it out of the car and puts it on the sidewalk, but the bunny keeps coming back with friends. Big, tough dogs and tiny fuzzy bunnies do not go together, or do they? Let's find out what happens this week in Big Mean Mike. It's going to be read for us today by the author Michelle Knudsen. I'm sharing it with kind permission of Candlewick Press. Michelle, take it away. I hope you like that. I had a chance to sit down and talk with Michelle recently in our segment called Just One Thing. I have just one thing to ask her about Big Mean Mike. Come take a look. Well, joining me this week in the studio from New York City is New York Times best-selling author of Library Lion, Michelle Knudsen. Please welcome Michelle Knudsen, everybody. Michelle, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here at the Storytime.
Hi, Scott. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. It's great to have you here. It's been a while since you and I have seen each other in person, but it's good to see you again. Thanks for your great reading of Big Mean Mike, by the way.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I have one question for you about it, just one thing about it. Mike, as we saw, had a fear of seeing bunnies in his car. If you were to go out to your car right now, what would you least want to see in your car?
I have a good answer for this because it's true. Spiders. I am not a fan of spiders in my car. I don't actually have a car right now, but when I did have a car, it was a thing. Like spiders know that I don't want them in my car and they will just come to my car. No one else I know just has recurrent spider visitations, but they would always be in there and they do freak me out. So it was
understandable. I understand that, yes. And you would find them in the glove compartment when you reached in for your gym pass, for example.
So frustrating. Frustrating when that happens.
You know what they call those, right? The big ones.
Spiders?
Tarantulas. Yeah, that's all I got. It's all I got. The cheesy jokes.
And I appreciate spiders. I want everyone to know that I love what they do for us. They're good creatures. If they're in the apartment, I never kill them. They get trapped in a cup and taken outside, preferably by someone else. Right. But my neighbors have seen me like running outside in my pajamas with like a spider in a cup, you know.
Do you think could become friends with the spiders, much like Mike kind of came around to the bunnies? Would that ever happen?
I mean, maybe if I got enough exposure. My next picture book features a spider as the main character. There was a period of time where I was staying at a friend's house upstate, an old house in the country, and there was a very big spider that just kind of lived there, and I would see him like, you know, crawling on the ceiling, and I named him Luigi, hoping that we could become friends because he clearly wasn't going anywhere. And so now there's a Luigi spider who's going to be the character in my next book.
What else have you been working on, or what's come out recently that you can tell us about? What are exciting things that are going on in your world these days?
Marilyn's Monster and Argus are two of my other picture books. And Marilyn's Monster was actually just featured by Julie Andrews in her new children's book podcast. It's kind of amazing to hear Julie Andrews read your book. It was very cool. So that was some exciting news that happened recently.
I would think so. If you want anyone to read your picture book, it's Mary Poppins. I would think that would be right. Read-aloud voice. Wow. Did you have any personal connection to her since or before, for that matter? How did that come up?
I did. She will not remember this, of course, but I did meet her one time. We were both at an awards ceremony in 2007. And so I have a picture of me and Julie Andrews. You know, she met like 1,000 people that day who all remember meeting her. She was lovely and gracious, and it was very cool. But I don't, that has nothing to do with, with I don't think she was like, I remember that Michelle that I met at that awards ceremony. Let's read one of her books on the podcast. I don't think that's what happened.
I understand, but how funny that your paths have crossed yet again in such a lovely way with your book. So that's cool. Where can people find that read-aloud? Is it available for us to check out?
Yeah, you can get the podcast anywhere that you get podcasts. But if you go to the show's website, there's bonus material. So for Marilyn's Monster, the illustrator, Matt Phelan, did a little video with monster drawing tips that you can see on the website, which is
very cool. I'm a big fan of Matt's. I will certainly check that out. And I'll put a link to that as well so people can find that too. Very, very cool. What a great thing. What a great thing.
It was pretty awesome.
And you had another book up there, Argus, that you were holding up.
Yes. So Argus actually came out a while ago, but I feel like not as many people are familiar with it. It's a story about a science project that the kids are doing in school, and they're all hatching eggs into chickens. And one of the eggs looks different, Sally's egg, and her chick, it's a little different from the other chicks. And they always refer to him as a chick throughout the whole book. Nobody acknowledges that that's not what he is, but he's definitely different. And so Sally struggles a little bit with figuring out how to have this relationship with her very different kind of creature.
It's so funny. And illustrated by the great Andrea Wesson.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, great art.
I've been very lucky with all of my illustrators, including, of course, Big Mean Mike.
Oh my gosh, thanks so much. Thanks so much. Not least of which Library Lion, one of my personal favorites. Great book, beautiful book.
Yeah, Kevin Hawkes did a beautiful, beautiful job.
Nice. Where can people learn more about you online? How can they follow you on social media? Tell us about that.
Well, everything's on my website, which is just michelleknudsen.com. You can also find me on Instagram. There's lots of pictures of my cats on there. There's also a picture of me and Chewbacca. I saw you're wearing a Star Wars shirt today.
I am. I came through, did it? Yes.
Yes. Good choice. Good choice. And I'm on Twitter. So on all my platforms, it's just my name. And I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I have a Tumblr, but I haven't used it in a long time.
Understandable. I'll put that all in the show notes so people can link to you from there as well. Michelle, it's great to catch up with you. Mikki, I know your friends call you Mikki. I still can't get over how I'm calling you Michelle after all these years. But Mikki, it's been great to talk to you. Be well, stay well down there in New York City. And here's hoping that we can see each other in person again before too long. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great to see you.
You too. Take care.
Thanks for joining us, Mikki. It was great to see you again. So what do you think? Would you like to draw a cool fuzzy bunny like the ones we just saw in Big Mean Mike? All right, yeah, me too. I'm going to try drawing it for you on my iPad. All of my drawings for all of my books are done digitally with software, with a computer. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to use my Apple Pencil and my iPad tablet today. I'm going to use the Procreate software. All of that information is in my show notes. If you'd like to learn more about that, let's take a look. Let's jump right in. Here we go. All right, everybody. Let's try drawing a fuzzy bunny, Big Mean Mike style, for this week's drawing activity. I'm using Procreate. I'm going to pick a nice big chunky pencil. I suggest maybe you guys use a pencil for this as well. I'm also putting the colors you'll need up on the screen so we can use colors this week as well. But we're going to be focusing mainly on the drawing of our bunny. To start, we're going to do a nice big oval right in the center. Keep it light, just like this. And we're going to keep it pretty sketchy, pretty loose to begin with. So we're going to do 2 ears up here like this, like ovals like that. Okay. Then we're going to come down with a shape that looks like this. It's almost like a gumdrop without the top, if you will. Kind of like that. And it's got a curved bottom like that. See that? That's going to be our bunny's body. Cool. Next, we're going to come down further for the legs, but not too far. A little bit more like that. Okay. I'm going to curve up like this. Make a nice little arc right in the center. Okay. And if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video and pick right where I left off, where you left off. Good. All right. Nice. Nice. Keep it loose, keep it loose, keep it light, because we're going to go back later and darken the lines that we like. Let's draw the arms next. The arms are just going to be kind of like ovals like this. Not really ovals, more like teardrop shapes. Teardrops, see that? Teardrops. Good. Next, we're going to add some boots. Boots are going to be kind of tricky because, well, bunnies have really big feet. So we're going to come out like this. A little shape like that. See that? And a little shape like this. Good. Next, we're going to come along the bottom like that. Okay. Come down like that. Let's do this. This. Let's just make it flat. Just like that. Okay. Make it easy for us. Those will be the bunny's boots. Good. Okay, let's start adding some, I'm going to fix this ear a little bit up here like that. Make it a little more eerie. You can too. You can kind of shape it with sketch. Shape it with very light lines, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to kind of work this in a little bit more, just kind of get a good feel for what I'm doing. Another trick that I love to do, and that you can do at home if you're not using Procreate like I'm using here. This is a digital drawing app, and it lets me do all kinds of fun things. I can flip my drawing horizontally. See that? And it lets me see where it looks weird to my eye. Does that make sense? It's like holding a picture up in a mirror. If you're drawing on paper and you were to hold it up to a mirror, and you can see where the imperfections are. You can see your drawing almost for the first time by holding it up and seeing it reflected. That's what I love about digital drawing. It has all these kind of neat built-in tools that help your drawings be a little bit better. Okay, let's add some detail, shall we? We'll add a little some inner ear like that. Keep it sketchy. Keep it very light. We're going to lock it in later, as they say. Now for the face, let's do the face next. Let's add just a nice line from, see where this ear meets, see that spot right there? Don't mark that, but that is where I want you to see, right there, okay? If you come straight down from there, right about here, don't draw that, and do a line straight across, using these points on the ear as a guide. That's what I think we need to do for the sunglasses, okay? For the sunglass line, okay? Next we're going to go up, nice little, like a letter U almost. And then a little bit further along we're going to do another letter U like that, okay? Those are going to be our bunny's sunglasses. Cool? Next we're going to do a little, like a little shape like this. You can keep it kind of sketchy. You don't have to keep it too defined yet. Next, we're going to do a triangle or a letter V upside down for his mouth or her mouth, whatever you decide. Right, just like that. He's got some attitude. Whiskers coming off the side like this. And they can be rough as well. They don't have to be finalized at all. Okay, how's yours looking? I bet it's looking pretty awesome. Let's do some eyebrows. And eyebrows are really fun because they suggest an expression on your character like no other facial feature, in my opinion. Watch this. I'm going to show you this. Right now, it looks like the bunny's kind of got a medium attitude, right? Like, hey, what's going on? But if we move them down like this, now what does it look like? Now he looks a little more serious, a little even more attitude-y, right? Just by where we put the eyebrows. What happens when we move the eyebrows up like this? Like he's surprised, right? Oh, but if we move them down, isn't that cool? Play with where your eyebrows go in your characters, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the kind of expressions you can get out of just by where you put your eyebrows, right? I'm going to leave mine like that, I think. I like that. All right, let's add some jacket details. Let's add the bottom hem of the jacket. It's going to be kind of like an elastic hem or trim, if you will. And we're going to come straight down from the chin area like this. That's going to be the zipper. And this will be the zipper pull. And then we're going to do like a zigzag line. We're going to go back and forth like that. That's going to be our zipper line like that. Okay, just like Big Mean Mike. We can draw 2 upside down U's like this for the pockets. That one looks a little small. So I'm going to go back and try to make it a little bit bigger like this. Sorry if you already drew that, but I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, just like that. Okay, cool. All right, let's add some sleeves. The sleeve should be a little bit above the hem of the waistline, if that makes sense. And we'll draw 2 lines like this, 2 lines like that. We'll draw a little pause like this, very simple, just 3 lines, very easy. How about some patches? We can add some cool patches here, maybe one right here, maybe a square one over there on the other sleeve, right? Cool. All right. Let's add, oh gosh, how about a knee patch there? I got the square knee patch there. It just gives it a little more shape and substance and detail. Add some pockets, diagonal lines there like this. Maybe a pant leg hem like that and like that. Let's add some heels, some boot heels. And of course, add some tread to our bunny's boots. Those are just W's. See that? W, 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 right? And some soles, just lines across the bottom like this. Yeah. If you want, you can add more details like this to your boots, like little toe box lines. And if you want, you can add a lace or two, some details, some laces like that. How's it looking? Pretty good? All right. Great. I would love to see yours. If you'd like, send in your drawings. We would love to show them on our upcoming episode. There's only 1 episode left, guys, so get your drawings in. I would love to show them next week. All right, let's go in and kind of commit to these details. What do you think? Let's if we like where we're at, let's lock them in. For me, I'm going to go in and use a darker pencil line like this and make it look pretty fuzzy like that. Right? Give it a little fuzz. Pick a line that you like from the sketchy lines that you've done. You can erase them before you go in, but for the sake of time and simplicity, I'm just going to go over what I've got like that. Okay. Keep it light, simple. Right, okay, there we go. Kind of come over that a little bit. All right. I might speed this part up so that you can get an idea of what I'm doing. So there we go. We've got our details filled in. It's a little darker line now. I've kind of committed to a dark line. What you could do now is, just like I'm doing here, I'm going to zoom in to show you this. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to kind of erase some of my lighter lines. You don't have to do this, and you certainly don't have to do it over your entire drawing, just places where it's especially dark. Your sketches are especially dark. I find this kind of nice to leave some sketch lines in here and there. But if they're really dark and kind of distracting, just take them out. Just erase them. I'm going to show you some color ideas that I came up with. And if you want, you can follow them. If not, do whatever colors you like. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to color it in, but I'm going to speed it up just so you can see the colors that I've picked. Okay, I've got 16 million colors to choose from, but fortunately I've got this smaller checkerboard pattern at the bottom there. And I'm just going to pick a nice blue color to begin with. And I'm going to put my color on its own layer, which is almost like its own piece of paper in this app in Procreate. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just start painting. And I'm going to speed it up. But you guys will get the sense of what I'm doing. All right, I think that's a good idea of where to go with color, but I would love to see what colors you guys have chosen for your Big Mean Mike fuzzy bunnies. Send them in. I'd love to see them. I want to show you one cool thing about this app. Remember the layers thing that I used before? If you can see up here in the upper right hand corner, I've got a layer 1, which is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's the black line work. And then layer 2, that's where all the color is. I can turn off, that is to say, I can make invisible the color layer and go right back to the black and white line work. Or I can turn back on the color and then turn off the line. And I get just the color. I can also move each layer independently of each other, so I can move it just a little bit off register, so to speak. Digital drawing lets you do some pretty cool things and lets you experiment very rapidly and undo things, change things. It's really fun, it's very forgiving, and I love working with it. I hope you guys give it a try. I'll post some digital drawing app information in the show notes. And that's it. Thanks, everybody. Let's take a look at some of your drawings from previous weeks. Here they are. Many, many wonderful drawings this week to take a look at. Let's jump right in. Let's dive right in with a whale. Look at this enthusiasm. I love it. Beautiful whale. Love the thick line work. Nice symmetry in the bubbles. Really good job. Excellent. Thanks for sending that in. A couple more whales from Breathe, episode 2. I think a mom and her daughter worked on these, and they did a great job together. Excellent work with your pod of whales. Nice line work, beautiful eyes. Like the color choices as well. Thanks, guys, for sending those in. This is from Where Is My Balloon? And it features two lovely characters, the owl and the monkey. I love the energy in these, love the colors. It is gorgeous. I love it. Thank you so much for sending your drawing in. I love them. Thank you so much. Monsters from Mostly Monsterly. Here's a great imaginative three-headed beast. Really imaginative. I love the human-ish looking legs too. Nice addition with the wings. And the one-eyed heads are awesome too. Great job. Thanks for sending in that monster. Another monster from Mostly Monsterly. This one has 6 tentacles for arms. Cool scale body. Looks like maybe winged feet perhaps. And gosh, 5 eyes. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Thanks for the monster. Great work. Another monster from Mostly Monsterly. We've got 5 arms. I like this. 3 arms on one side, 2 arms on the other. And it looks like maybe 4 mouths and a bunch of horns. Nice big circular legs. Nice job. Nice job. Thanks for sending that in. I really appreciate that one. More monsters. We've got a star-shaped monster there on the left and a square-bodied, rectangular-shaped body monster there on the right. I love the eyes and how they're all looking in different directions. Great job with those drawings. Thank you once again. And we've got our first piglet drawing from last week's Jigsaw, Granny Gomez and Jigsaw book. Nice work. This looks like it was created digitally. Our first digital drawing submission that we've shown on the show. So thank you for sending that in. I'm not sure what software you used to make that, but it came out great. Thanks for sending that in. Nice colors. No week would be complete without my super fan. Here he's completed a great pig drawing from Granny Gomez and Jigsaw. It looks like he's got another one behind him on the fridge as well, surrounded by his previous week's artwork. But look at this great pig drawing. I love it. Nice job with the balancing watermelon, the flowers all around. Just really nice colors and lovely shape to the pig as well. Great job. Thank you so much for sending that in. I really appreciate it. Good job as always. Where Is My Balloon drawings? And they're excellent. They're from the mom and her daughter again. And I love them. I love how each of them looks similar to each other, but also very different from each other. Great work, guys. Really full of expression and life and some nice coloring as well. Thank you. We've got some Mars rovers from our Rover Throws a Party episode. And great work. This was one of the more challenging drawings, but you guys did well with this one too. And I so appreciate you sending in all of your many drawings and all of the time you spent watching the Storytime program. I really appreciate that. Great job. Great job. Another rover. Again, this was a tough one, but I think this artist nailed it. Some cool features in the wheels and in the terrain, and it just came out really nicely. Good work. Great job sticking with that one. That's a tough one to draw. And lastly, we've got 2 pigs from last week's Granny Gomez and Jigsaw episode from this artist. Wonderful job. I love the colors of these 2 pigs in particular. I love the expression of both of them, but the one on the right is especially charming as well. Great job with these. Thank you so much for sending all of your drawings in, everybody. If you have drawings that you've done that are based on the shows that we've uploaded, send them in. I'd love to show them on our upcoming final episode. You can send them to the address on your screen. Thank you, everyone. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell. It lets me know you're out there. You can find many more Scott Studio Storytimes on my website at scottmagoon.com. You can learn much more about my books there as well. We're doing new episodes every Wednesday, but there's just 1 episode to go. So we're getting down there. That's all for this week. I'll see you next time on Scott's Studio Storytime. In the meantime, stay safe, healthy, wash those hands, and we'll see you next time. So long, everybody. Take care.